LeBron James to the 76ers is official. One of the most influential players of our generation is headed to Philadelphia, and the entire dynamic of the NBA has changed. The entire dynamic of the Eastern Conference has changed. It changes title races. It changes the way that we look at the odds for the bigger teams like the Knicks and the Heat. And it changes the way that we will talk about his legacy. And for the Sixers, this is the biggest moment for them since 1983. All right, let's get right to it. LeBron didn't choose Philadelphia for the money. He took a massive pay cut from over $50 million last season to a 2-year deal worth $8 million. He didn't choose Philadelphia for comfort. He didn't choose Philadelphia for nostalgia. He didn't choose Philadelphia because that's what his family wanted. His family's going to be living in LA. He chose Philly because he wanted the challenge to end his career, and he wants to win one more championship. He said himself, "This is my last decision. I still want to sacrifice. I still want to work. I still want to grind." Those are his quotes. So, choosing a challenge over familiarity, choosing the hardest path available, I think these are all things that need to be commended. You know, there were people who were going to, show disdain and their dislike for him no matter where he decided to go. But I don't know how you can't have respect for this decision, just as far as the basketball element goes. The reason being is, you think about what's been going on in Philadelphia over the last several years, and the narrative that's been surrounding Joel Embiid, especially the last few years. I mean, this is a team that Philadelphia doesn't really love and hasn't really gotten behind, and has, shown some weakness and some vulnerability to injury and maybe even some character. What does LeBron do for the Philadelphia 76ers? Well, he takes all of that attention and he puts it on his shoulders. He is the perfect PR media person to front the team. He is the face of the team. It doesn't have to be Joel Embiid. It doesn't have to be Tyrese Maxey. It doesn't have to be Jaylen Brown. It can be LeBron James now. And he can take all that pressure, which he has his entire career, and divert it away from his teammates. I think that's actually a lot bigger than people realize. I think that with the pressure being taken off, everybody could kind of breathe and just play basketball. Now, the question I have going forward is, how do these cast of characters fit on the court? Are they willing to sacrifice here and there to make things work? We'll find out. We know LeBron is an unselfish player. We know that Embiid is a playmaking big man, doesn't mind passing the ball, certainly doesn't mind shooting the ball. So I think this has a really good chance to work. The only thing that could stop it is the injury bug, and there not being a full belief and mesh of as far as the characters and the locker room are concerned. So the Jaylen Brown trade was huge, right? The Sixers weren't even considered a serious contender for LeBron until this move was made. When Philly acquired Brown, the entire league recalibrated. That move, orchestrated by Mike Gansey, signaled that the Sixers were building a real contender, not just hoping LeBron would be their savior, but actually believing that they would be able to contend before he made this decision. And they thought they had a legitimate shot for LeBron, and they were right. So the recruitment, kind of the behind the scenes that took place, according to reports, Maxey and Embiid were relentless. Maxey's agent is Rich Paul. That connection might matter. Embiid and LeBron had a lot of chemistry when they played on Team USA together. But the wildest part of the recruitment didn't actually come from a player. It came from the governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro. So mid-July in New York City, LeBron is dining at ZZ's Club, one of the most exclusive private clubs in Manhattan. And at one of the tables, Bill Clinton and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, a lifelong, I should say, Sixers fan. From what we understand, this wasn't planned, this wasn't scheduled, this was simply an opportunity. So Shapiro sees LeBron, walks over, makes an unannounced pitch right there in the club, a governor of a state. And days later, LeBron chooses the Sixers. So, Shapiro, you went all in. He officially proclaimed July 24th as LeBron James Day in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That had to have been planned, folks. So I think that this needs to be really looked at as one of the deciding factors in this recent decision. He welcomed LeBron to the city of brotherly love, praised both his career and his philanthropy, whether you agree with it or not. But this was basically a statewide celebration, certainly a city celebration. So let's talk about the roster, right? Because what Philly has now is absolutely a contending starting five. Joel Embiid, an MVP. Tyrese Maxey, an ascending superstar. I don't know who could run with this guy anywhere on the court. He's one of the fastest players on the court. Jaylen Brown, elite two-way wing. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. LeBron James, even at 41, going to be 42 next year, still LeBron James, and still your point forward, capable of doing plenty of things. Maybe not the defender that he used to be, but still LeBron James. And then VJ Edgecombe, rising second-year player, had a really, really good rookie campaign. This is a real contender. Vegas moved the Sixers from 20-1 to 10-1 the moment that LeBron signed. So the Eastern Conference just became a war zone. All right, and your Knicks are defending champions, and Golden State made a huge push for LeBron. I was kind of surprised at this decision. I thought it was either going to be Cleveland or Golden State, but when you think about it, this move makes a lot of sense in terms of legacy. Now, there's nothing to say that LeBron can't change his mind and decide to play one more year in Cleveland as his true, retirement farewell tour. Cleveland paused season ticket sales because they genuinely thought that he might return home. There was something there to that. Minnesota, Miami, Denver, And as I said, Golden State all pushed really hard. But the fact of the matter is that none could match Philly's combination of talent, urgency, and opportunity. Now, it's being reported, and I think this is really interesting, LeBron James is going to be living in New York City and commuting to Philadelphia to play for the Sixers over these next 2 years. What does that tell me? That tells me that the Knicks winning the championship absolutely affected everything that LeBron had planned going forward. I believe that he would have went to the Knicks had they not won. Them winning and him going there to try to piggyback, or whatever you want to call it, them winning again with him, you have to understand that the optics aren't as good there, right? It's more about the perception of reality than what actual reality is sometimes in sports. And in this case, I'm sure he preferred to go to a team with this much potential that hadn't won yet, in a pressure-packed environment where he gets to say that he's the reason that a team wins a championship. We'll see what happens. So, again, this wasn't just a decision. This was a statement, and it's one that I respect. It's LeBron James choosing pressure over comfort, choosing a challenge over nostalgia, and choosing Philadelphia for what might be his final chapter. This is his last chase for a ring, and now the Sixers have one mission: win a championship. Because if they don't, I think that after these 2 years, you could pretty much guarantee that they will be in rebuild mode in some way, shape, or form, especially with Embiid, getting a little bit more up there in age. And, we still have some questions about health and durability going forward. But with that being said, folks, huge move. Now, we're coming up on NFL training camps very soon. Fantasy football about to get started. People planning their trips to go to games. I will be doing a full NFL preview of every division, each conference, and I will be doing a fantasy football special. This will all be upcoming in the next couple of weeks, so look out and subscribe to the channel so that you get those notifications when they drop. Thanks for tuning into the 4 League Report. I'll catch you next time.